One of the foremost railroad artists today is Gil Bennett. In addition to watercolor and oil original paintings, Gil's work adorns calendars and boardrooms across the country. Gil started drawing and doodling when he was just 2 years old, but he never really considered a career as a painter until his college years. Studying to be an architect, Gil took a class in oil painting, and when he found out that he needed another major, he picked fine arts. To put himself through school, he would sell his homework, much to the dismay of some of his professors. People wanted his work even then, and he eventually took a class in watercolor in which the professor had a different idea.
I had a watercolor teacher, a professor that taught me how to watercolor after I had, in my last year of my schooling. And he told me, if you can sell anything, it's fine. So I would go in with my assignment, he would grade it, I'd take it to a show and then sell it. And so it worked from there. And after I graduated, between my bachelor degree and my master's degree, I went to a show in Arizona, and a corporation CEO saw my work and ordered 30 paintings for his board members. And from that time, I've been painting steadily ever since.
Gil considers his paintings to be time machines. He is too young to have seen all the steam, and in talking to his clients, he has the opportunity to pick out what they experienced, filter it through his mind, and produce an image on canvas or waterboard. And that applied even to his own father in his high school experiences with the Salt Lake Bamberger Interurban Line.
Well, he would used to tell me about his school and his senior go to Lagoon Day, and they would take the Bamberger, and they'd all go down to the station. He said there were guys hanging out the windows, and the guys would pull down the traction arm so the train would lose power every once in a while, and the conductor was just having a heck of a time. And something like that is it's a fun story, and I was able to put that on canvas for him. And so we have the Bamberger coming out of going out onto the station. They're coming out of the station, going on to Third West. All the guys are hanging out the windows, they're waving to each other, and it's just something that I never witnessed myself, but have the opportunity through a brush to do that.
Early in Gil's career, he became friends with renowned railroad artist Howard Fogg. That friendship blossomed into career tips and instruction as Howard became Gil's mentor.
I had a good relationship with Howard Fogg. I met him for the first time in 1984. And from that time, he took a liking to me. He would call me Young Gil when I called him on the phone. I imagine old Gil would be Gil Reed. So he would call me Young Gil, and every time I was over in the Denver area, I would stop by and we would converse a little, either on phone or I'd go over and watch him paint. And I asked him many questions like, how do you get your watercolors so they don't wrinkle the paper? He says, come down here, let me show you what you do.
Gil was such good friends with Howard that upon his death, Howard's widow asked that Gil complete Howard's last painting. About half completed, Gil was able to match Howard's work and complete the painting. But his association didn't stop there. Gil has acquired a reputation for repair.
And then in later years after his death, there were people contacting me from across the United States that said they had a Howard Fogg painting, and something had either been scratched or the Clodfelder collection had been stored in an attic in North Carolina and had molded. And so I got a call one day and said, is it possible to fix these? And I said, well, I'm not sure, but let's give it a try. And so I've probably fixed about 30 or 40 Foggs.
Gil sells his material through his website, gilbennett.com, and has a line of Christmas cards. And calendar art continues to be a popular outlet for Gil.
Calendars are a unique niche, I should say. One calendar, they say, send us images. So I send 30 or 40 images, and they pick from the images something to go with the various seasons. Another company has, for their corporate office, they have the original for the corporate office and use that image for the calendar of that year.
Gil considers his painting to be more than just a day-to-day job. He considers it to be a learning experience.
Again, going back to Howard Fogg, he told me if he quit learning every time he painted, then he would quit. I found that to be true. Ted Rose also said that same thing. He says, I learn when I paint every day. I don't learn every day, but there's occasionally where I will actually stumble across something, and it makes that painting just mean something more special to me than it does for, I'm sure the client's happy with it no matter what, but it's something that changes the way that I paint. It makes the painting pop more, it's more exciting.
Gil prefers oils as he thinks that the final paintings have more punch. That's it for this episode. Be sure to join us next time for more Tracks Ahead.